And we are rolling. What's up, guys? Welcome to Unlimited Freedom. This is Vaughn with Unlimited Freedom, and today we're going to be getting into an important update about NOVATECH. Okay, these are some statements that I'm going to be sharing with you that the CEO of NOVATECH made, but we're not just going to share the statements, okay? We're going to take a deep dive into what she said, into the possible meanings, and we're going to analyze this, okay? So this is going to be an in-depth video, and it should be a good presentation. Now, before I get into that, guys, I'm not a financial advisor, okay? This is not financial advice, and I am not your financial advisor, okay? I'm just a guy who comes on here, I'm sharing my journey, I'm sharing my story, I'm sharing what I'm doing in a lot of different areas, okay? I deal with crypto platforms, we talk about passive income over here, we also talk about high-frequency Forex trading, we talk about real estate and the stock market, okay? So we've got a lot of stuff going on here at the Unlimited Freedom channel, okay? But having said that, I'm not telling you to do anything, okay? I just, I'm sharing the information with you. If one of the platforms that I talk about on here interests you or is of interest to you, there's links in the description. So there's a link to NOVATECH. There's a link to every platform that I talk about on this channel, guys. So if you're interested in any of the platforms that I talk about, you can go to my description, click more info, and it will open up a drop-down. Now that drop-down has links to every single company that I talk about on this channel, right? So if you guys are interested in any of that, you can find the links in the description. Also, don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, please. Also hit the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I release a new video. And I know that everybody says that, guys, but it really does help me a lot when you hit the like button. It helps me a lot when you subscribe to the channel. It lets me know that I'm bringing you something that has value, okay? And it doesn't cost you anything to click a link, right? It doesn't cost you anything to do research. It doesn't cost you anything to hit the like button, right? So do me a favor, if you get some value out of this, please hit the like button. Do it now, please. Okay, and guys, so let's get into this, all right? These are some statements that Cynthia made last Friday. Okay, this was done in a meeting with some key leaders at NOVATECH. Okay, so this is not like a public statement that was released to the public. It was just a leadership meeting where these statements were made. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read some of the statements and I'm going to get into my response, and also, we'll try to dig a little bit deeper and see what we can come up with and what we can make out of these statements. Okay, so the first thing she did was she started out with a thank you to all of the leaders. So that's, pretty normal when you're doing like a board meeting or something like that. You start out by thanking everybody who's there, and that's a pretty standard thing. Next up, here's a quote. One of the things that I extremely dislike about this business is that we are in, one of the things that I extremely dislike about this business that we are in is the fickleness of the market, the people, sometimes who invest with us, and things like that. Okay, so here's my take on that statement. My take is that she's still frustrated, right? She's still kind of in a little bit of a defensive mode. This was a little bit better, honestly, than the one that I heard at the beginning of the year. The beginning of the year was just, we're not going to talk about any of the problems. We're just going to be, we're just going to kind of be on a defensive posture and kind of an angry, defensive, frustrated posture is what I was getting out of that one. And that was from the beginning of the year. This one was a little bit better, okay? But still, literally the first thing out of her mouth was expressing her frustration about her own people, right? The people who invest with us. So what could she possibly be frustrated about, right? I mean, it's not, come on. You froze people's accounts. You're getting into all kinds of problems with these different states, with these different countries, okay? And then you want to blame the people and say that the people who invest with you are fickle? No, man, they're not fickle. They just want to be able to get their bonus account withdrawals on time, and they want to be able to withdraw from their trading account like they were able to do, for these past 4 years. Right? So don't, this is an L. This is an L, right? This is a loss for you to actually express. I mean, you're freezing people's accounts. They can't get their funds, right? You're late on the payments for the bonus accounts. And what do? The first thing you do, you complain about the people who are investing with you. Okay? I mean, Dude, seriously, like, are you only surrounded by people who are just totally kiss-ups to you all the time? I mean, because this statement, you've got to be so detached from reality to make this statement. It's unbelievable, right? It's just, I mean, I couldn't think of something more unplugged, detached from reality than a statement like this to start out the meeting, okay? Now, let me read it again. One of the things I extremely dislike about this business we are in is the fickleness of the market, right? Because, of course, the market's fickle. We all know that. The market and the people, right? Sometimes who invest with us. So let me get this straight, okay? You're getting into all kinds of problems. You're getting cease and desist letters. You're getting governments coming down, cracking down on NOVATECH. You're stopping you're freezing the people's accounts so that they can't withdraw their capital. And then you're slowing down to the point where people are getting slow paid on their bonus accounts. And what do you say? That your people who invested with you are fickle. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. So yeah, I mean, what the heck are you saying, right? What are you doing? Okay, next up, let me get off that. I mean, hopefully you guys can understand my response to that. I mean, just take some accountability for what's happening. Take some responsibility. If there's problems, fix it, right? Fix the I don't want to hear about how it's my fault as an investor that you're having problems. I don't want to hear that. No investor wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. Right? I mean, let me just stop. Okay, here's the next one. Okay, it is not our intention ever to go away or to stop performing because too many people rely on us. Okay, so let me read that statement again. It is not our intention ever to go away or to stop performing because too many people rely on us. So this phrasing of this, it's kind of like when a kid, on a playground knocks another kid down and says, "Well, I didn't mean to." Right? I just meant to push him a little. I didn't mean to knock him down and, bloody his face or whatever I did. So it's not our intention ever to go away, right? And here's what she didn't say, right? But if that happens, it wasn't our intention, right? It's not our intention to stop performing. That's what she said. Here's what she didn't say. But if that happens, it wasn't our intention. So I'm kind of preparing you for more bad news without actually saying there's going to be more bad news, right? It's kind of like, okay, I'm preparing you guys for what might be coming down the pipe here. And if something blows up in our face, I want you to know that it wasn't our intention, right? Wasn't our intention, guys. Okay, and so that's kind of what I take from that statement, okay? And, at the same time, guys, I'm trying to be fair about this, right? And I'm trying to be objective. And I do, let me just say this now before I get a bunch of, pushback here, is that I do want NOVATECH to pull through. I do want NOVATECH to fix the problems. I do want NOVATECH to ultimately succeed. I would love to see NOVATECH, blow all of these haters out of the water, right? I would love to see NOVATECH just come back more powerful, more strong than ever, and just, all these people who are banking on their demise to be proven wrong. There's nobody who wants to see that more than I do. But at the same time, we've got to dig deeper into these statements, and we've got to take an objective approach, because we have to be able to understand the other side if we're going to be able to fix the problems on our side. Okay, it doesn't do any good just to toot our own horn all the time. It does good to objectively look at what's going on, look at the facts, get the facts in front of us, diagnose what the problems are, and fix it, right? Fix it. Next up, things are under control and improving every day. Okay, so things are under control and improving every day. Okay, this is another statement that was made. And about the things being under control, well, a lot of people don't feel that way, right? A lot of people don't see that. But that is what it is. And then the things are improving every day. So I'll tell you what we are seeing is we're seeing the bonus account withdrawals starting to get more timely. Okay, meaning a lot of the backed up withdrawals from January and February, a lot of those are still backlogged and haven't totally fully gotten paid. But the newer bonus account withdrawals that people are starting to withdraw, like for example this last Friday, are starting to come in. Right, so the newer bonus account withdrawals are coming in a timely fashion. Okay, so that is, I think, definitely, something worth speaking on. I can see improvement in those bonus account withdrawals. Right, so they do need to get those on time. That's good, and then they got to go and catch up those backlogged ones. Right, got to do that. Right now, we're just in the beginning of the month of March here, and they say that they're supposed to open up the trading account withdrawals again April 1st. Okay, and so there you go. All right. Now, I think that if they're not able to get the bonus withdrawal caught up and fixed and everything during the month of March, I mean, pretty freaking soon, right? They need to fix it pretty soon. Then there's no way they're going to be able to start getting the trading account withdrawals done. I mean, there's no way, right? So we need to see these bonus account withdrawals getting caught up and getting fixed very soon. Okay, need to see that, guys. So, but it is good news. Every time I hear you guys jump in my comments and say, hey, I got my bonus account withdrawal, boom, boom, boom. Hey, my withdrawal came in from January. My withdrawal came in from February. My withdrawal came in from last Friday. That's awesome, right? That's good. That's a very, very good sign, guys. Okay, a very, very good sign. So what we might be seeing here is just a little bit of frustration out of the CEO. Things might be, getting back on track. Things might be getting back caught up behind the scenes. And maybe we're just seeing a little bit of frustration from the CEO with these types of comments. It is what it is. People are different, right? Everybody's different. So, on the other hand, it could be something more sinister, but only time is going to tell, right? So, let's continue with what these statements that were made by Cynthia Petian, CEO of NOVATECH. Okay, next up, changes were made to the system, right? Because the old system was not able to keep up with payments and transactions. Okay, so they've switched over from coin payments to Quickie Pay. So what she's saying there is that, the reason for this slowdown is that changes were made to the system because the old system was not able to keep up with payments and transactions. So once again, I don't know exactly what's going on behind the scenes. I know that they used to have coin payments, and now they've switched over to a program called Quickie Pay. Okay, I also know that the Quickie Pay program pays out in batches, right? So it'll batch out payments here, it'll batch out payments there, it'll batch out payments. And so they've switched over from that coin payments to that Quickie Pay, and some changes have been made to the system. What I have noticed and what I have, kind of reported on my channel to you guys and shared with you guys is that, every time I log into NOVATECH now, it's much, much faster, right? The site pulls up faster. It just, boom, it opens right up. I'm able to pull up any report that I want to look at. I'm able to open up any screen that I want to look at. There's no, there's no lag. There's no stalling. I mean, I remember, last year, man, on Friday and Saturday, you couldn't even get into the website. There was the server wasn't working. The website wouldn't load up. So it was just like, oh my God, is this thing ever going to load up? Right? And that is, for all intents and purposes, as far as I know, that's completely fixed at this point. So I'm sure that there have been some systems updates being made behind the scenes. No doubt about that. Now, I don't know the extent of the updates that are being made, but I do know that they have been making those updates. So guys, this is all brand new information. This is all hot off the press. Nobody else is breaking it down for you like we're doing here at Unlimited Freedom. Nobody else is getting into it this deep. All right, so like the video, guys, right? Subscribe to the channel, drop me a comment. I always love to hear from you guys. So that's kind of their reasoning, right, for why the payments have been slowing down, for why things have gotten lagged behind. Is because of this system change and this system update. Okay, so let's see that for what it is, which is we're not behind the scenes. Okay, one moment. I'm making a note here so I don't forget to talk about something. Okay, next up. Now, this is important, guys. They have made a decision at NOVATECH to start paying out the current bonus account withdrawals and trickle backwards to catch up on the old ones. That means they're going to try, so Fridays, they're trying to pay that out in a timely fashion. This Friday that comes up and this Saturday when the bonus account withdrawals that come up, they're trying to pay those in a timely fashion. And then as they're able to, they're going to trickle backwards, so to speak, and try to catch up on those old ones, right? So they're going to pay the new payments out first and then try to trickle backwards on those old ones. So we can look at that in a couple of different ways, guys. So one way to look at that is this, that, hey, you know, we're trying to get back on track, and we feel that the best way to do that is to catch up with the ones that are happening right now, okay? And it was even mentioned on the statement, the recording, that we're trying not to have our new clients become late on their bonus account withdrawals. So what they're saying here is that we want to kind of appease our new clients, right, guys? So the people who have just recently signed up, we want them to be able to get their bonus account withdrawals in a timely fashion. And then you guys who have been with us for a while, who have already been rolling with NOVATECH, you guys are going to just have to wait while we trickle back and catch up on yours. But you can get the new ones, you know, starting now and forward. So now, why would you do that if, you know, and I hate to give credence to the conspiracy theory people, but why would you do that if you were indeed, like, let's face it, like some people say, a Ponzi scheme, right? Now, I don't personally believe NOVATECH is a Ponzi scheme. Some people say it is, right? Now, if it was, then the rationale behind getting those new payments would be this. Guys, we need to bring in a lot of new people right now so that we can recuperate our money so that we can start paying back the older investors, right? That's what it would do if it was a Ponzi scheme, right? And so the fact that they're doing that, it does not bode well for those who are critical of NOVATECH, who are saying you look like a Ponzi scheme. So that's definitely not a win for people who are going with the whole Ponzi scheme argument. Because if it were a Ponzi scheme, that's exactly what it would do. It would try to pay out the new people so that they can bring in some new money, get that new money in so that they can pay out the old people with the new money that's coming in from the new people, right? And so what we're hoping is that that's not the case, right? We're hoping that there is trading being done in the background, you know, and as I've said a lot of times on my different videos, guys, and which I've said this to a lot of different people, right, is that if they were an honest-to-God Ponzi scheme, they probably would have pulled the rug back in October before they started paying out all of the clients in Canada and before they started paying out all of the clients in California. Also, if they were a Ponzi scheme, it's unlikely that they would have an actual broker registered with MT5. Now, for those of you who don't do trading, you're probably not going to know exactly what MT5 is. But since I am a trader, and I am a professional trader, I know what MT5 is because I use MT5. I also use MT4, and that stands for MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5. And what MetaTrader 5 is it's a trading platform where you can get on and you can choose NOVATECH as your broker on the trading platform and do your own trades. I've done my own trades with the NOVATECH broker using MetaTrader 5. Now, it's not able to be accessed in the United States, but since I am a very worldly, well-traveled person, and I do have residence in other countries, right? I was able to use my residence in another country to access the MetaTrader 5 broker and to do some trading with NOVATECH. And it's real, and it works. So there you have it. I mean, if it's just a huge Ponzi scheme, why would you have a working broker where people can actually do trading on their own? Right? So that's another little piece of evidence for you that it's not actually just a full-blown Ponzi scheme the way that people say it is. So hopefully I did a good job of giving both sides of the coin there for you guys. Like I said, I'm trying to be objective here. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. Nobody does, right? But, you know, the fact is I do have some investment with NOVATECH, right? And I definitely want to see NOVATECH stick around. I want to see NOVATECH succeed, right? I've got a lot of people that I brought into NOVATECH, and I want to see them succeed as well, okay? So that's kind of a big announcement, guys, that they're trying to, what they're doing now, as of right now, is they're trying to catch up the bonus accounts. So from this point on, the bonus account withdrawals that are coming out, they're going to try to get them out in a timely fashion. Okay, that is what's being said. And as for the ones that are still backlogged, they're going to be trying to catch up, but they're putting the new ones first. Okay? Take that however you take it. That's what they're doing. That's the decision that's been made. Okay? Next up, still paying weekly, but we have a backlog now from downtime with the system and transitions, as well as a lot of other things going on in the market. Well, okay, I'm not really sure what they mean by a lot of other things going on in the market. I mean, the other major thing that I know that has gone on is a couple of months ago, FTX failed, which was a huge crypto platform, a huge crypto broker, and they failed and they collapsed. I don't know if that's really what they're talking about. I mean, the price of Bitcoin, it really hasn't been fluctuating that badly that I've seen. I mean, it's been staying around like 16 up to like 23,000. So kind of between 16,000 and 23,000. And just for your information, altcoins fluctuate in tandem with Bitcoin, right? So in terms of you're actually trading in the markets, you shouldn't be seeing really things going on in the market that are too crazy unless one of your traders like really messed up. But I haven't been noticing the market being crazy. The market is just about the same as it always is, right? You know, you got to have your trading strategy. You have to practice your risk management. You have to stick to your guns, and you have to develop a strategy that works weekly and that works monthly, that is testable, that is repeatable, and therefore that is trainable and is sustainable. Okay, and as long as you're doing that, you shouldn't be seeing problems in the market right now, because I'm in the market. I'm not seeing any, right? I mean, I can tell you. Trading Bitcoin is you get the higher highs and lower lows, right? But the fluctuations are still pretty much the same. So I'm not sure what she meant by a lot of other things in the market. I know that she's talking about the system and the transitions. Okay, so the transitions, we can only assume that she's talking about the transition from coin payment to Quickie Pay. As far as the system, we don't really know what she's referring to there. But like I said, with the system, I can say that the website has gotten a whole heck of a lot better. Hallelujah, right? Because that website used to drive me nuts. Okay, but now I'm not having any problems logging onto the NOVATECH website. Now, what I want to see happen, obviously, is for them to get caught up on the bonus accounts, and then I really want to see them get back to, paying people out their trading accounts. Okay, I realize they're probably going to have to make some changes. Okay, but let's say that it's going to take you 90 days to pay out the trading account. Just say that. Just say it. Just say, hey, it's going to take 90 days. I think people will accept that. For the most part, people will accept that, okay? It's just when you freeze it completely, that freaks people out. When you get cease and desist orders from governments, that freaks people out. When you don't talk about it, that freaks people out even more. Right? So while you're going to have some hardcore people who are riding with you who are not going to withdraw their trading account no matter what, right? These are the type of people who will go, like my partner BOJ likes to say, he's going to ride till the wheels fall off, baby. And there's going to be people out there who will roll with NOVATECH until the wheels fall off, okay? Guys, I'm one of them. The reason why I'm one of them is because I've already taken out my profits. I've already taken out the money that I invested, my initial investment. I already got that out back in October, along with some profits that I locked in, right? But as far as the money that I concurrently have with NOVATECH, I'm going to keep pounding the ground. I'm going to keep rolling with it. I'm going to keep rolling it over, and I'm going to ride till the wheels fall off, okay? Now, having said that, there's a lot of people who are not going to because they're just freaked out. There's been a lot of scary news for people, and there hasn't been enough communication coming from the top to address the specific things that have been happening, okay? And that's why people are freaked out. By the way, guys, that's why people are trying to make all their withdrawals from their trading accounts. So maybe if you would be a little bit more good with your communication, less of those people would be trying to take everything out. And we're going to have to see what happens in April. Okay, bottom line. Okay, we're going to have to see. This month of March is going to be important because we're going to see what happens. I mean, we don't know yet, but if they make another statement saying that they're actually not going to be able to release the trading accounts in April, that's going to be a big hard knock for a lot of people. Right, and we don't know if that's what they're gonna do or not. But if they do, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. You know that I'm not afraid to talk about anything over here. You guys know that. Here's another quote: "Trading accounts have always been extremely flexible, and that is one of the reasons we have grown." And this is a really weird statement, guys. But no business allows people to just withdraw huge sums of money at free will. Wait, no business allows people to just withdraw huge sums of money at free will? I think most banks pretty much allow you to withdraw your money. Most reputable traders that I've dealt with, brokers, allow you to withdraw your money. I mean, whether it's $1,000 or $100,000. So that just is a puzzling, strange statement. Like, I mean, once again, you must really think I have no idea what you're thinking with that one. I mean, you just must think that, you're preaching to the choir. And I guess pretty much in a business meeting type of setting, in a leadership meeting, you pretty much are preaching to the choir. But regular folks out there are not going to be okay with this statement. Okay, trading accounts have always been extremely flexible, and that is one of the reasons we have grown. Yes, you're right. You're right. That's one of the reasons you've grown, because people could get their capital back if they wanted to. That was never a problem before. For 4 years, it's never been a problem. But all of a sudden, that's a problem now, right? And we know that the trading accounts have been frozen, right? But no business allows people to just withdraw huge sums of money at free will. Oh, no. No, nobody does that, right? Nobody actually lets you withdraw your money. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard the recording, and if you haven't, you'll find it. Somebody else is going to share the recording on their channel, right? You can find it there. I'm not going to just share the whole recording. I just wanted to get into the statements that were made. I wanted to read you the statements, and I wanted to give you my response to the statements, right? Because everybody who wants to hear the recording is going to be able to hear it. It's out there. Okay? So make sure you guys like and subscribe to the video. Nobody else is giving you a deep dive like this. Okay, so it's just a weird thing to say, guys. No business allows people to just withdraw huge sums of money at free will. I don't even know how to respond to that other than to say that is an asinine statement. How else could anybody take that? Okay, next statement. Money is trading, and everybody wanting to panic and withdraw is making it impossible to free up all the money. You think that people want to panic? Let me read this statement again. Money is trading, and everybody wanting to panic and withdraw, it's a direct quote, is making it impossible to free up all the money. Who actually wants to panic? People aren't making a decision to panic. No. Here's a news flash for you. People are panicked because of these government actions. People are panicked because of the account freeze. And people are panicked because you just haven't addressed it. You haven't properly addressed it. And that's why people are panicking. You freeze the account and don't properly address why you're doing it. And that's why people are panicking. You're getting cease and desist orders and you're not addressing it. And that's why people are panicking. You had to pull out of the country of Canada. And that's why people are panicking. You had to pull out of Russia. That's why people are panicking. You had to pull out of California. That's why people are panicking. And you're not addressing the problem. You're not taking it head on, and you're just not communicating. Therefore, people are panicking and they're trying to withdraw. But of course, blame your investors, right? Blame it on the people, right? The fickle investors, right? We're just fickle investors. Some of these statements are tone deaf. Some of these statements show me that you're not seriously listening to people who are critiquing you, right? Which I know that that's not always fun, but take me as an example, guys. You know that I'm willing to talk to anybody. I talk to people who call me a straight up criminal, right? And, want to bring up all kinds of stuff, right? Call me a scam artist, call me a criminal. But I'll still sit down and talk with them. Because the conversation needs to be had. And people have to see, what is your answer to these questions? People want to know. So Now, now this particular thing, though, let me say this about this. The fact that money's trading and everybody wants to panic and withdraw all at the same time, and it kind of makes it impossible. Yeah, because, guys, real quick, and I did a whole video on this, but real quick, let me give you a quick one-shot explanation about the way that money gets wrapped up in the trades. Is that you've got scalp trading, you've got intraday trading, and you've got day trading, and then you've got like weekly trading, monthly trading, and more long-term trades. So when you're in a longer-term trade, you can't just pull that trade out if you're in the negative, right? So sometimes your trade goes down into the negative before it goes back up into the positive. Actually, I mean, that's just the way the market works. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down. So if you get in here, but you're looking to get out up here, well, it might go down first before it pops back up. Okay, that's why you can't cash it out if you're in the negative, because you're going to take a huge loss. And if they do cash all those trades out, they could take a huge loss, and then the money could really be gone, right? If that's what's going on in the back, if they've got intraday trades and they've got long-term trades, they're not going to be able to get to those as quickly, right, as say a scalp trade, right, that's like a 15-minute or 4-hour or something like that. Those are really quick, high-frequency trades. Of course, you can free up that capital much quicker, but we don't know how much of the capital is wrapped up in longer-term trading, right, that's based on fundamental analysis rather than just technical analysis. Okay, so fundamental analysis says that the United States dollar is going to decrease in comparison to the Chinese currency. Why? Because America's in debt to China. It doesn't look like we're going to get out of debt anytime soon, and it looks like we're getting into more debt. So I'm going to predict that in 3 years, in terms of the Chinese currency next to the U.S. currency, the Chinese is going to get stronger. Now, that's a long-term trade based on fundamental analysis, okay? I didn't just tell you to go do that, okay? But I'm telling you that's what fundamental analysis is. So if they do have trades that are based on fundamental analysis in the background, yeah, it could be hard for them to get to all of that because you don't want to cash out a bunch of trades while they're in the negative. You want to wait for the trade to go up into the positive and hopefully go up into a pretty nice profit before you catch it out. Here's another quick thing, guys, on trading. You have different ratios of profit to loss. So you might have a 1-to-3 ratio where you're taking a chance at losing 1 in order to win 3. Or a 1-to-5. You're taking a chance to lose 1 in order to win 5. Right? So if you pull out prematurely, your winnings are going to be less and you're more likely to have losses. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. I know that we can't all be traders and we all don't know all of the terms about technical analysis. Shout out to IM Academy. If you do want to learn trading, go to my links and click on the link to IM Academy and get the TBX package. TBX will teach you everything that you need to know about trading. Also, once you sign up using my link, you will get a discount to IM Academy. And once you're a member of IM Academy, I do have some personal tips and tools that I share with all my people who have signed up to IM Academy using my link. So if you're interested in learning how to trade, go ahead and do that. But that's the reason why, you know, the money could indeed be tied up in trading, guys, okay? Next up, here's another statement. There's freezes going on all over the place, so we are not doing anything that is not normal. What freezes are you talking about? I mean, we know that FTX just collapsed. That's not really a freeze. That's a whole company collapsing. And we know that, what was the other one that just rug pulled? FX Master Gold, Absolute Markets. We know that that just rug pulled, and that's not a freeze. That's just a either they pulled the rug on it or they had a trader really did blow that whole trading account. I don't know, right? Like I said, I'm not there. I don't know exactly what happened there, but I don't know what they mean by there's freezes going on all over the place. What does that even mean? As far as I know, NOVATECH's the only one who's doing any freezes that I've seen. Okay, here's the next one, and they're going to be, at this point, they're going to be trying to encourage people not to withdraw from their trading account, okay? Here's the quote. We've seen cases where people withdraw, go to other businesses, and lose everything. So what they're saying is, hey, the people who withdrew from the trading account went into other businesses, other crypto platforms or whatever, and lost everything. Well, I don't know about that. Maybe that did happen. I know when I withdrew from my trading account back in October, I put it into dividend stocks. Using Robinhood, I got into the stock market and started purchasing some dividend stocks because there's some high yield dividend stocks out there, guys, that yield 12% a month, right? And if you want to learn more about that, click on the link to Robinhood in my links. That's the broker that I use, and that's where I use to fund my dividend stocks. I also talk about dividend stocks on here as well. Okay, so my money is doing just fine, thank you. I mean, I haven't lost everything, so don't know exactly what you're talking about there. But I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to encourage people not to make withdrawals from their trading account. Why? Because everybody's trying to make a withdrawal from the trading account. And why is that? Let's get to the root cause, the bottom line, because you haven't adequately, given us an explanation of what's going on with these different governments and why you're making the certain decisions that you're making, right? You're going to have to communicate and explain, and you're going to have to come up with a good explanation so that people feel comfortable not withdrawing from their trading accounts, right? If you don't do that, I don't think it's going to work for you to just say, hey, if you withdraw from us, you're going to lose it all somewhere else. Yeah, I don't think that's going to cut it, guys. I don't think that's going to be enough. I think some of these real questions need real answers. Okay, so let's get into the next quote. We are working hard to continue what we have built. It doesn't mean that we are not going to run into problems. Problems happen. So once again, there's two ways to look at this. The one way is that you could say, hey, we are strong, we're resilient, we've worked on this, we've built this thing up, we've tackled problems in the past, and we're going to come through this just like we did last time. That's the way that I hope that this was meant. The other way that you can take this is that it's a foreshadowing that more problems are coming. They're saying, hey, we're working hard to continue what we have built, right? It doesn't mean that we are not going to run into problems. So you could say that the unspoken part of that is we are, right? And you could say that when they say problems happen, you could also translate that as to more problems are coming, guys, get ready, right? And hopefully that's not what they mean by that, but just to give both sides of the coin there on that statement. Next up, I've seen us change too many lives. Pause. What we do makes a difference. Pause. And then she attempts to show that she's getting emotional, and she says, we care. I don't want to hear that, right? You can give your emotions to somebody else. I've got no use for them. Whether these emotions were real or they were fake, I really don't care either way. I don't want to hear anything about emotion right now. I want to show me the money. Let me know what's going on with the dollars and the cents. Let me know what's going on with this trading account. Let me know what you guys are going to do about all this stuff that's coming at you on every side. Don't give me this emotional stuff. But unfortunately, guys, with their main core group of people who are like, they're believers to the point that they're actually make-believers. They believe so much that they've gone too far. Right? And you can say anything to those people. And when you do get emotional with people like that, they latch onto that. Because this hardcore belief is based on emotion. It's not based on logic. Right? And now, I'm not knocking belief, right? I'm all for belief as long as it's accurate belief. I think that that's fair. Right? You don't want to, believe that you're a, purple reindeer, right? For the rest of your life, because you're never going to be that, right? You don't want to get into make-believe when you're doing your manifesting, right? And when you're speaking it into existence, brother, you don't want to get into make-believe. You want to make sure that you stay grounded, that you stay anchored in what? The truth. Reality, right? Stay anchored, right? Build your house on the rock, on the foundation that doesn't get blown by the wind. It doesn't get knocked over by the waves. Don't go out too far and you turn your belief into make-believe. Don't do that. Don't fall victim to that, right? And so I've got no use for emotions. You ain't gonna, just look at me, right? You guys know me. You're not gonna win anything with me by getting emotional. Just like next. Next, let's move on, right? Crying is that's not gonna win you any points with me, and a lot of people I don't think it will. Next up, God did not give us this plan and give us this mission to only have it sink. It's not going to. Okay, hey, fair enough, man. You know what I mean? If God gave you the plan and God gave you the mission, and you believe in that, and it's not gonna sink, I hope it doesn't. Right? I truly hope that it doesn't. And I think that, when you're invoking God, right, the Most High God, creator of everything, right, when you're invoking God, you know, if he doesn't want something to sink, well, I guess it won't, right? I mean, he's all powerful, right? So, but you know, I just, like I said, guys, we don't know what's going to happen in the future, right? But I know one thing: you're not gonna go against the will of Almighty God. So I guess if God doesn't want it to sink, it's not going to sink, right? And if He does want it to sink, nothing you can do about that one either, right? I mean, sometimes, you know, I don't know. Maybe you know God's will, His exact will. I don't. So the only thing that I get to go off of is the Holy Scriptures, and that's what I believe in. So when I think about God's will, I look at the Holy Scriptures, and what's in there to me is God's will, right? And other than that, you know, if you try to get into like X, Y, and Z and talk about, you know, this political person or that political person or this company or that company, or, you know, this, we're supposed to vote this way or vote that way. No, man, I don't deal with that, because if it's not in the Word, you know, if it's not in the Holy Scriptures, I don't really want to deal with it, right? Because it's too subjective, right? So once again, guys, I would be remiss if I did not say this. Nowhere in this statement did she address the government actions and the actions that NOVATECH is going to take in the future so that they do not continue to get these types of government actions. Didn't address it, didn't mention it. And that's disappointing. That's disappointing, because I think until they address that and until they mention that, you know, the elephant in the room, you're going to have a lot of people who remain fearful. You're going to have a lot of people who will try to pull out of your company the second that you open those doors back up. So we're just going to have to see what the month of March brings and what the month of April brings. And it's right around the corner, guys. And as you know, if any more breaking news comes out, you're going to hear it over here. And you're not just going to hear it, but you're going to hear me get into a deep dive, and we're going to get into some details, and we're going to crack into the nuts and bolts over here. All right? Because that's what this is about, guys. This is about opening up the knowledge and, you know, really opening up the conversation. So that I hope you guys, if you have comments, make sure you drop them in my comment section. If you're interested in any of the platforms that I talk about on this video, go ahead and the links are in the description, guys. You can check out more about the companies there. It doesn't cost you anything to click a link. It doesn't cost you anything to copy and paste the link into your browser. Also, if you haven't done it yet, do me a favor and smash the like button. Help me out with the algorithm. Help me out. Let me know that you're getting some value from this. Let me know that you're on board with what I'm doing here on Unlimited Freedom. Send me a comment, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that way you're notified every time I release a new video. Once again, it's always great talking with you guys. I hope that you guys take care. Never invest anything into any program that you cannot afford to lose. And we'll see you guys on the next one, man. Take care.